Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. There you go.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you.
Enjoy. I think. Sit where you're going to sit. Say words.
Say words. Do you love ads? I love ads. You know what else I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence keeps this channel mostly ad-free, except for today, because we are doing the Inkvent calendar Diamine 2024. I'm Audrey, not Mike. Welcome back. We do this every year. This is your first time here? Hello, I'm not normally here except for Fridays on the live streams. And Mike usually does these. He does not like spoilers. I don't mind a spoiler. That's why you're here. You want to see, is this going to be something you want to purchase in the future? Because you don't want a spoiler, or you do want spoilers. Because this is not cheap. This is actually $120. This year, this was brought to us by Truphae. Mike will put something here, Truphae.com. They sent this out to us for free. That's not going to mean that I'm not going to give my honest opinion on this. But they were very nice to send this out to us this year. So stop by there and get your pen needs. This is $120, like I said. If you are in a different country, it may cost a little bit different depending on where you are. There are 25 different ones. If you notice, this is a little different this year. None of them have been open. So we actually opened it from the top and took all the bottles out. So it's pristine. So Mike will be able to open all the doors this year instead of me. So that would be nice. So this looks better for you. So there's 24 12 milliliter bottles in here, which, spoiler alert, look like this. And the 25th day, which is right here in the middle, is going to be the one that is the 1 ounce bottle, which looks like this. I'm not going to spoil that one yet. So at the end, I'm going to give a little bit of overview, what we're seeing here, what kinds of types we're getting here. I wasn't sure ahead of time what we're going to get in terms of types. We usually have shimmers, standards, chameleons, and some scented. Last year, we had a new one that was known as Starbright, which is such strong shimmer. I don't know if we're going to get that this year, but let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Buckle in, get a snack, because it's going to be a little bit. Sorry, it's going to take a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and get started. I already did the swatches for these. If I did the swatches on camera, it was going to take a long time. And if I mess anything up, I'm new here. You know, I'm trying. Some people might be wondering about my nail polish. This is from Zoya. It is Beckett from the Luxe Noir collection for fall. So if you like this color, that one should be available now. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, everyone. Day number 1. Let's see what we got here. This is always a problem. These are very shiny labels on them. So unfortunately, get to find the right one. It's Baltic Breeze. And this one is a shimmer. You can see here, this looks very coppery or rose gold maybe, but I think it's coppery. So Baltic Breeze. And it looks like this. Very pretty light blue, a little bit on the purple tones here, but you can really see that nice rose gold, sort of bronzy, I guess, not really copper. But this one definitely is one of those lighter, more multi-chrome colors. So you can definitely see some pink here. This probably will also change depending on what paper you use. Again, I could be wrong, but this is just our usual Colodex cards that we get from Well-Appointed Desks. So definitely pick some of those up. This is what Mike uses all the time for his swatches. But yeah, you can see that this one is a lot on the shading. If you have a really fine nib, you might not be able to, it might be a little light, basically. So this is a thicker dip nib that I use for a lot of these, just in case, you know, we get some lighter colors. So this one's super pretty. They haven't done as many of these multi-chrome shades in the Inkvent, so this is something a little bit new so far. Let's go ahead and start a little collection over here. The numero dos, we have Wilted Rose, which is an interesting name, honestly. I wouldn't think of that as a sort of a holiday theme. But number 2 is a standard. So this is one that's not going to have any shimmers in it. I mean, basically, if you're going to get one of these, you're pretty much going to have to like some shimmers. If you really hate shimmers, these aren't really going to be for you because there's going to be so many of those. But there are going to be some standards like we see here. So this is Wilted Rose. This is just a couple dots that are, when I was tapping it down on here. This is another one that shades really nicely. There's not any sheen really. But yes, it is rosy, very, very dusty, a little bit more on the red side than it is going to be on the pink. But yeah, there you go. Day number 2, Wilted Rose. Continuing on, we have Noble Fir. I don't know what a noble fir is, but oh, we got our first Starbright. Remember what I said, that it's going to be the really super shimmery, bright color shimmer? This is that one. Look at that. It's pretty blinding. Definitely see all that shimmer in there. But I'm excited about this green here. Here is day 3, Noble Fir. Look at that. It is so much shimmer. But it's actually not too bad in the center here. When it pools like it is right here, that's where you're going to get a lot of it. But I mean, it's still very readable. And it's really when the sun, the light is hitting it straight on where you're going to get it the brightest. When you look at it from the angle, you get the nice green color. So it's not really sheen, it's just the shimmer sitting on top. But no, it's a very pretty sort of Kelly green. I like that. Next, day 4, we have Forest Gâteau. And this one is, oh man, we got our first scented. I have found that some of the scented ones have been a bit bleedy on paper. It must be something with the paper itself or with the ink itself, that scent that they add that really just sort of makes it, unfortunately, spread out and soak through more than I would like. But maybe it won't this year. The other thing I noticed when doing swatches, let me go ahead and get our artisanally bent letter opener that I use for these swatches. I dip it and spread it out. It just does not want to stick to these letter openers, these scented ones. That's another thing I've noticed over the years. So I'm going to go ahead, see if this swatch smells right now. It shouldn't, but let's see. I mean, maybe slightly, but not really. I don't really smell it here. Let me go ahead and smell the bottle and give you an idea of what I think it actually smells like. Based on the color, I mean, it makes me want to think maybe like a grape or something. I'm actually not sure what a Forest Gâteau is, honestly. Honestly, this sort of smells a little bit like wine. Yeah, so it is subtle. I don't think this one is very strong at all. It definitely, if it smells like this, and it's even going to be even less so in the pen itself, this is just me huffing the bottle right here. I don't think it's going to be overpowering. But for me, as a person that likes scent, it's more going to be the performance of what the ink does with the addition of the scent and that bleeding and the feathering. So that's a bigger downfall potentially. Again, we'll see if this actually happens this year in these scents. Maybe it's been honed in a little bit, but it's not too strong for me. The color itself is a very pretty, winey, sort of burgundy color. Not much shading, no sheen or anything, but very pretty color. Let's hope that it reacts well this year. Continuing on, we have, these are so shiny, Icy Lilac. And this one is another shimmer. It looks like this one's going to be some silver shimmer. Let's see what we got here. Yep. This is going to be silver, maybe a tiny bit on the blue side, a little bit too. But this is a really nice light lilac color, not sort of that dustiness to it as well. It's going to be a little bit lighter. You are going to see there is some nice shading here. But I think this will be really nice and certain. Again, I think it would be best in a broader nib. And we're on to day number 6. We've got Cranberry. And when I saw this one, I was like, oh, is it going to be another scented already? It is not. This is just a standard one. So don't worry about another scented here. Okay. And they're saying this one's a standard, but this one has a lot of sheen. You can see it's one that sort of sits on the top. It doesn't actually come off or anything, so this is really nice, but it is not really shady. It's just one, cranberry color, but lots more sheen than I expected. And I'll go ahead and, little spoiler alert, expect a little bit more sheen here, which is not something we've seen in previous years that much. Just a little bit. This one's a little bit heavier on that. So we got cranberry on day number 6. And day number 7, we've got lemon and lime. Oh, we got some nice, looks like golden shimmer. Oh, we got our first chameleon. So chameleon is going to be one that's sort of a duochrome shimmer where it's not easy to show on camera, but when you look at it straight on, it's going to be one color. When it shifts to another angle or different lighting, it can look a little bit different. So it can turn from like a reddish to a bronze, etc., depending on the color. Let's see what we got here with lemon and lime, day 7. This is very bright. It's a little less green in person. You do see a little bit more of the green right here, but it does lean a little bit on the chartreuse side, excuse me. But you can definitely see the shimmer in here. This looks on the gold side, but again, it's one of those things that this one sort of settles into the color because of you're not getting a contrast, so this sort of settles into the yellow a little bit more. But this one is super bright. It looks to be pretty readable on what we got here, so hopefully this one actually is a nice bright color that will work well in lots of nibs. Day number 8, we have Marley, and that makes me think of a dog. I'm not sure what Marley has to do with this, but this is a standard one. And here we go. We got another multi-chrome. This one is a very dusty purple, and you can definitely see lots of those pink tones in here as well. And it actually goes out over here. It's sort of easier to see in person. But I think this one is dark enough. It's a little bit on the gray side, so it's a dusty mauve-ish sort of color. I really like that. So we've gotten a couple multi-chromes already. Up next, we have day 9, Wishing Tree. Looks like it's going to be some sort of grayish color. We got another chameleon. Okay, it looks like we got another one of those multi-chrome. This is one of those murky colors, a little bit gray, taupe-ish color. There is a little bit of pink you can see throughout here. I'm trying to see. It looks like the shimmer is sort of gold and green, depending on the light that or the angle. So this is an interesting complex color here. I'm curious to see what this one looks like. I hope it's not too light, but it looks based on the thicker glass nib that I use. It should be pretty good to go. But yeah, that's really interesting. I like that one. Day number 10, we have Chilly Nights. And this one is another Star Bright. So this is the year we have 2 Star Brights so far. We only had, I think, 1 last year. It looks like, I think, the only Star Bright, this looks, I can't tell if it's the blue base or if it's actually silver again. The only ones we've had so far are silver. So it could just be that blue on the base that's giving us that look. Yep, this one still looks like that silver. So I think the only color for the Star Bright, as far as I know, is going to be that silver. But look at that. It's a very deep navy color. Perhaps a tiny bit on the purple side. But yeah, if you like shimmer, I don't think Mike's had very many issues with it clogging up. There's just something about it being so much more vibrant in person. But yeah, we got 2 Star Brights this year. Day number 11, we have Grotto, I believe. Pardon me if I'm saying that wrong. And we got, We got that extreme sheen. Like I was saying before, we're going to see more sheens this year than we have in previous ones. So extreme. What makes it extreme? I'm not sure. Just a little bit extra. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. These extreme sheen ones are very hard to swatch. As I said, we got the artisanal letter opener. The ink stuck to this letter opener and did not want to smear. It just smeared across the whole thing and would not go. So these do not look great. My apologies. But yeah, this has some really nice green sheen with a reddish base that's a bit on the orange side, I would say. So it's a little bit more of a sunsetty sort of color with that green slash sort of gold color sheen. So you do have to be a little more careful with sheens. Again, these are a bit more saturated. You will have to do a little bit more cleaning out. Sometimes they tend to be a little bit on the drier side. So something to think about for using your sheen inks. Okay, day number 12, we have snow globe. Who doesn't love a snow globe, especially around the holiday times? Having some of those sitting around the house has always been fun. We got another chameleon. Looks like it's a little bit blue and silver. Okay, here we go. It's another one that has sort of a little bit of a multi-chrome. Definitely see some pink in here, but it's a nice dusty sort of blue. Honestly, I don't know if I didn't shake it up well, but I don't really see a lot of shimmer in mine. I thought I shook it up well, but it could just very well. I think there it is in there. It is that blue color, so that's the reason why it just sort of settles into the base color. It's just really subtle. And this light is very diffuse, which is not great for seeing the shimmer as well. So you might be able to see this in different lightings better. But yeah, it sort of settles in a little bit more than some of the other ones. Day number 13, we have Lullaby. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to show. Trust me, it says Lullaby. I've got another standard. Honestly, I was expecting this one to be a shimmer just based on how light it looks. Oh, this one's super cool. This one is a very interesting, I don't even know how to, it's a purple that definitely leans on the pink side. A bit more lavender, but maybe not lavender or lilac sort of color. But I think this is so pretty. It is a little bit on the light side, but you get some really nice shading in here. No sheen that I can see, but I think this one's really pretty. I just hope it shows up in pens or up in some of the finer nibs because I think this is a super pretty ink. Day number 14, we have Mint Twist and another chameleon. This one looks to be more on the silvery side. Silvery and green, it looks like. So we got here, this one is definitely on the minty side. A little bit of shading. Looks like the shimmer is actually on the blue side. Hopefully you can see the blue green that you're getting here. Again, this one sort of settles in a little bit as well. I did try and shake these up really well. But it is minty, a little bit on the dusty side more than a bright green. Okay, day 15, we have Sleigh Ride. And this is another extreme sheen. Again, you're not seeing anything special in the bottle. It's just going to be how it dries. And yep, yet again, lots of that green goldish sheen here. You do get to see some of the base color. This is more of a bricky sort of red, almost like a burgundy. But you do see, you get some of the sheen on the writing, but you do see the base color as well. So even though it's extreme, depending on what you use, I used the finer nibs on, dip nib on this one, just to be able to see if you could see the base color on it without, if you put more ink down on it, you're going to see the sheen a little bit more. So I wanted to use a little bit drier one, and you do get to see the base color in this one. Day number 16, we're getting there, everyone. We're getting there. We got Tundra. Looks like it's gonna be a nice gray. This is a standard, okay. Ooh, goodness. Again, we got one that's, I don't know if this one's somewhat of a multi-chrome. It is a little bit a different color down here slightly, but it is sort of that taupey sort of color, a little bit of gray, a little bit of beige, sort of that in between. So if you like some of those murky colors, you might enjoy this one. Day 17, we have Winterberry. I don't know what that is, little sputs. It's another chameleon. This one definitely looks like it's going to be red and a little bit of gold on the edges. Oh, this is a very vibrant red. This is a pretty natural red. It's pretty neutral in terms of red. It's not too blue based, not too orange. Let's see. So yeah, the shimmer here, it definitely has some reddish and some, you can see the reddish a little bit down that pinkish red. And it definitely has some sort of copper in the edge as well, since it is that chameleon. But yeah, that one's super pretty. Very holiday appropriate when you have the bright reds and greens. Day number 18, we have Vibe. Interesting name. Looks like gonna look well with great with my nails right now. Oh, we got another extreme sheen. Oh, look, it's a nice teal. And sheen. Look at that. That's a lot of that red sheen again. It seems like several of the ones we've seen for the sheen are the reddish sort of. But this one is really nice. This is with the lighter dip, or the finer dip nib again. The sheen is sticking out more than some of the other sheen ones. So this one is going to be very red heavy when you use it, even with a fine nib. So, but I mean, it's super pretty, and the sheen is really cool on it. So if you're okay with sheen, Vibe might be your vibe. Day numero 19, we have Fruit Cocktail. And we got a scented number 2. Let's see here again. Do I smell that this is a swatch? Very vibrant, sort of a bright peach color. Somewhat a little bit on the coral side, but a little bit more orange. I think I smell a little bit on the page, but gonna be not as much as you're gonna get in the bottle. So let me go ahead and smell the bottle. I'm assuming it smells like fruit cocktail, right? This one does. It just smells like a faint fruit cocktail. If you know those dull little fruit cups you got in school, the canned fruit, it sort of smells like that. It's not strong. I'd say it's probably a tiny bit stronger than the Gâteau one earlier. Again, I don't think it's too cloying or too much for me. It very well may for you. Hopefully, again, we don't get those spreading. It does, you can see this is it spreads out quite a bit compared to some of the other ones that you've seen on the swatch cards. I use the same dip nib on it. So like these are the same dip nibs. You can see this one spreads out quite a bit more. So it makes me think that it's going to do the same as other years, but we shall see when it's actually in a pen. So that's what that smells like. Hopefully you don't mind it. For me, it's not going to be a deal breaker. Okay, we're getting there, everyone. Day 20. We have potpourri. I mean, everyone loves a good potpourri, right? Especially in Jeopardy when they do the potpourri. That who doesn't love that category, right? So this is a standard. Oh, this one I enjoyed as well. This one is a really cool mauve looking color, another multi-chrome, lots of nice shading. You can see this nice line of sort of gray in between here. And I mean, it looks really nice. I really like this one. Depending on your paper, we'll see. Hopefully it sort of shifts in different ways, but it just sort of looks like it might. I'm not going to say it does, maybe. Day number 21, we have Cosmic Glow, which is going to be a really nice blue, it looks like. And this is another extreme sheen. So it looks like we have 2 reddish extreme sheens and 2 teal/blue ones so far. And so this is the base color, very nice, vibrant, sort of royal blue, I guess. And here's that bright red sheen again. So, yep, that's very pretty. I used the thinner dip nib on this one yet again. You do see it. You can see the green, the blue in the back, but you get a lot of the sheen and the writing as well. So if you like sheen, this is not the most original one. You get a lot of blues that have the red sheen, but I mean, it is a very pretty blue for sure. Day number 22, we have nutmeg. When I saw this one, I'm like, is it going to smell like nutmeg? Do we get a third scented one? Nope, this one is a shimmer. So if you're not into scented ones, don't worry. This one looks like it's going to be a gold shimmer. And if you like that murky sort of taupe color, this is yet another one. Everything's a taupe, right? So you can definitely see this is just a simple sort of gold shimmer. It's sort of interesting because the gold is going to be a warmer color, and this color of the taupe is definitely more on the cooler tone, cooler side. So yeah, I do like that. It's sort of a contrast of the warm versus cool. And nice shading on this one as well. Day 23, we have Pine Needle. And this is another chameleon. It looks like it's got some gold. Let's see what other colors we got in here. This one's definitely more of a leafy green. It's not that minty. It's definitely more on the yellow side of green. And it looks like it's going to be a shift between a green and gold shimmer. Hard to see the green in person or in the photos, but it's there. But this is really nice. I love a nice yellow tone, sort of grassy green. So very nice. So we are on Christmas Eve, day number 24. We have salted caramel or caramel, depending on how you say it. I say caramel, but I'm from the Midwest. So this one is a shimmer. Again, I was worried about this one being a scented one as well, but this one is a shimmer. This looks going to be that sort of gold, bright gold on that one. And this is what that one looks like. It is much warmer compared to the one we just saw a minute ago for a comparison. This one's definitely more cool tone. This is much warmer. They both have similar shimmers. You can see those nice gold. They show up very differently based on this being warmer with the warm shimmer. But this one I'm more drawn towards because I don't know. There's something about a salted caramel that it just looks really nice. More of like a sort of a sepia sort of brown. But yeah, this one, the shimmer is definitely strong in this one. You can definitely tell in the writing as well. And, you know, this is another thing I really appreciate about an Inkvent or any advent calendar. I feel like the last day should be something a little extra. Am I right? Do you agree? Or do you think that all days should sort of be evened out and they should all be equal? I mean, I would like something a little extra on the last day, and they do that here. They give us a full ounce for this one. So this one, they don't tell you what kind it is. So on the side, oh, it does this year. Oh my gosh, I didn't even look because no years have ever said what kind of ink it is. So it never says chameleon or anything like that on the side. Well, this one's an extreme sheen. Well, there you go. I did write sheen on there, question mark. This is a good tidings, and man, this one is so dark. It was hard for me to tell exactly what color it is, but you definitely get a lot of that green/gold sheen on top. Is it black? Is it really dark blue? I think I wrote down really dark blue, but honestly, it's hard to tell. And it's just because there's so much sheen on there and it's just so dark that it's really hard to say. So, but anyway, you got a full bottle of this. And let's go ahead. I did make a few little notes on here. I'll bring the bottles back in just to show you what this all looks like together. So this is how much ink you're going to be getting for your money. And just to throw out some of the swatches just so you can see some of the colors together. So this is 4 shimmers, 6 standards, so ones without any shimmer, scents, etc. We got 2 of the Star Brights this year, 2 scented ones, 6 chameleon, and 5 extreme sheens. There have been some with sheens last year, but this one is the biggest change this year, is having the extreme sheens. But generally speaking, I think they just took a few of the extreme sheens out from the standard ones to make it that way. And I did a little, I mean, this is all subjective and what your eye sees, of course. So I found about 6 blue, 3 green, 1 yellow, 5 red, 5 pink / purple. So a lot of them are on that sort of lilac pink / purple side. So depending on what you think. 3 taupe. Again, that's sort of how you want to describe a taupe to be. 1 brown, and 1 of that was a salmon / coral one, which is this one, fruit cocktail right there. So there you go, everyone. I hope this was helpful to you. I'm sorry it was a little bit wordy, but I just wanted to give you my initial thoughts. I do think this is a really fun thing if you're into having if you were looking to get to lots of different inks. This is a great way to fill out your collection if that's what you're into, if you don't have that many, or if you just want to have something to open, every single day for the month of December. And yeah, thank you very much for stopping by. And if you enjoyed this, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're interested in subscribing, we would really appreciate that. I know Mike does a lot of hard work on the channel, and he appreciates all of you that have stuck with us throughout the years. So thank you again. And this is a little early, but happy holidays to you. And Mike will be doing the full recap of each one of these every single day. He's going to give you some swatches, color comparisons, see if any of these look similar to some of the inks you already have in your collection, etc. So thank you so much, and have a great night. Peace out.